Welcome all of you. Today you will learn how to cultivate oyster mushrooms in the summertime. As oyster mushrooms are one of the fastest and most popular mushrooms chosen by beginners and the cultivators all around the world, as they can be easily grown in their home or in big farms, and they are easy to process, further preserve, hence they are quite popular. But the challenges faced by the farmers are how to cultivate them during the summertime. So by the end of this video you will be easily understand each and every aspect of these mushrooms and its technology and how to cultivate them easily during the summertime. And by the way, for the economic section you can check the video in the description where I have already explained and calculated how you can earn more than 1 crore rupees from just 30 cent of land if you just grow this variety of mushroom. This variety of mushroom belongs to the Pleurotus genus and they are very diverse. This is the blue oyster mushroom, this is pink one, the golden Florida oyster mushroom, then the Sajar Kaju, king oyster mushrooms. So there are a lot of varieties. So what's the cultivation technology of oyster mushroom? Basically, you require a substrate. What are the substrates for the oyster mushrooms? Anything will work for oyster mushrooms, like cereal straw, sawdust. It can be even softwoods, sugarcane bagasse, corn cobs, coconut coir mixed with the vermiculites, coffee grounds, newspaper, cardboard. So basically they are the best recycler. You can use any waste which are available nearby, and what you need to do is that you need to chop them into small bits so that it can fit the bags or packets where you will cultivate it. Hence you chop it into 1 to 2 inch size and then add water. The moisture content in the final substrate should be 60%. Once your substrate is ready, the next step is pasteurization. How to pasteurize? You don't need to sterilize the substrate for oyster mushroom cultivation because they are quite strong. Their mycelium is very vigorous and they doesn't need full sterilization. Hence you can simply pasteurize them by boiling the substrate. If anything is in the 100 degrees Celsius and they are boiled for 1 2 hours, they will be sufficient. Or you can also steam sterilize them using various vessels, pressure cookers or drums, or DIY models using the pipes where steam flows from one chamber to another and it simply boils the substrate. And also there are chemical methods available where you add calcium, then you add bleaching, potassium permanganate. There are several varieties of chemicals and combinations which can be used. You can download the same from this link given in the description, or directly visit bmmushroom.com and visit the download resource material or members only exclusive club, where you will get all the PDF where all the chemical formulas are mentioned. But you can easily go for the boiling or steaming method that will produce you organic mushrooms, and they are quite easy and hassle free to do that. Then comes the spawning. What is spawning? Spawning is the addition of the spawn, mushroom spawn, which contains the mycelium into the substrate. Spawning ratio can be 10 to 15% of the dry weight of the substrate. And from where you can purchase spawn, all the varieties of mushroom spawns are available at bmmushroom.com, and they can be delivered at your doorstep. It's available all around the world and all over India, so that's not a big deal. They are very nominal and very good quality spawns. You can easily order them online. And once you do the spawning part, how you need to do spawning? For that you need to add the substrate with the spawning in this ratio and fill them inside the bags, or you can also mix them by layer as you wish, whichever is suitable for you. All will do fine. Also you need to make few holes in the bags, or you can even use any bucket, container, bottle, small jars. Anything will be good and fine, whatever can hold them and protect them from external rains and insects and pests. That will be fine. Why holes are required? They are required for the respirations. And then the stage of incubation happens. At this stage you don't need to do anything. You just keep your bags inside a semi shaded place. It doesn't need to be very dark, it can be lightly shaded. And then the temperature which is needed for the incubation stage is 15 to 28 degrees Celsius. If even it goes below 15 degree, that's fine, but the maximum temperature for oyster mushrooms are 28 degree, and that's the challenge. During summertime the outside weather can even reach 40 degrees Celsius. Then how to maintain that? very soon I am going to explain you. Just stay with me till the end of the video and you will be easily maintain 15 to 28 degrees Celsius. For king oyster mushrooms, you need to lower the temperature a bit, and it should be around 21 or 18 degrees Celsius for the fruiting stage. Other than that, all the mushrooms are quite fast. The pink mushroom can be grown within 10 to 15 days, and other oyster mushrooms can grow for at around 20 to 25 days. Hence, the growing is also very easy. So incubation periods last between 7 to 20 days. Why 7? Because for pink oyster mushroom and even golden mushrooms, they are very fast, and within 7 days the bags shall turn white, and other varieties will take around 20 days. So once the incubation period is done, so at that stage, then again it comes the stage for fruiting and pinhead. At this time you need to maintain this constant temperature of around 15 to 28 degree, and just increase the humidity of from around 80%. You can increase it to up to 95%, or even 100% will be fine. So for that you need to spray water, sprinkle it a light, and otherwise you can also use humidifier, etc. And CO2 should be low. As you can see, during incubation the CO2 was moderate, but right now it needs more and more fresh air. Fresh oxygen is the primary thing which will provoke the mushroom fruiting bags for inducing pinheads. And then you also need some light. Oyster mushrooms get excited by lights, and they get to know that okay, this is the time for fruiting. So you need to provide a little bit of light, maybe indirect light, or you can also install blue LED lights which will do it fine. So after that the mushrooms will start within 2 to 3 days, and then you can keep on getting new flushings for next 2 to 3 weeks, and it will get you around 2-3 more flushings. So biological efficiency is also very good. It is from 100% to 200% from oyster mushrooms. So 1 kg of oyster mushrooms generally cost around 15 to 30 rupees per kilogram, depending upon your procurement of the cost price, labor price, etc. And it can be easily sold for 100 to 200, 300 rupees per kilogram, depending upon your market size. So then the stage of harvest and packaging and processing. Actually, oyster mushrooms are quite versatile. They can be sold fresh, dry, in the powdered form, pickle form, chips, chicharron, papad, biscuit, candy, or several other things. Nowadays oyster mushrooms can be converted into anything because they are very nutritious, very proteinous. They are also used as a supplements and diets. So the concept of temperature management, that's the main thing you should always keep in your mind. So there are few points. If you keep it in your mind, you will be easily able to manage your temperature in mushroom cultivation. First thing is farm design. Okay, the farm design from the scratch. If you are building your farm, what you need to do is keep your roof and walls, everything, roof and wall, these are the main factors from where you will get the heat. So always use insulated panels. Don't use anything like metallic sheet, tin, etc., which will easily absorb the temperature from outside. Always use something which is a bad conductor of heat, like puff panel. You can use bamboo, wood, plywood, anything which like thermocol, or there are insulated special sheets available which can be wrapped around anything, or even the bricks will do fine. So the main idea is to build something which is insulated, wall and ceiling. Also you should use this kind of structure rather than using flat surface for the roof, because this kind of structure is good for keeping the room cool. Flat surface easily gets hot and direct sunlight can enter. And also if there are scope for you, then you should use a ceiling. The ceiling is always it works as a buffer, and you can fill the between the ceiling with straw or thermocol or anything which are insulations. So first of all, if you don't let sunlight to enter your room in such a way that it heats up your room, then you will able to cool it easily. This is the first thing. Also then go for the square room rather than going for rectangle room, because the rectangle room will give you more square feet area to cool, and they will produce more heat. So overall it is easy to manage the temperature and control the environment in a square structure. So these are the first thing, the farm design. And also you should paint your wall and the roof according to the color, which should be preferably silver or white, because they reflect the sunlight and don't let your room get hot. If you use some dark color like black, red, then it will absorb the sunlight and it will heaten up your room. Then you have to use the technology of mist fan cooler, either otherwise high pressure fogger or honeycomb cooling pad. One by one I will explain them. So what is mist fan cooler? Mist fan cooler is very simple thing. Here you can see the fans can be installed. They are fitted with this kind of rings. These rings are having fine nozzles which produce very fine droplets of mist, and as the fan blows, the mist gets into the air and they turn into evaporation. So you can see this is another mistifier. Here no fan is used, but it is producing fine droplets of fogs. So they are very cheap, they doesn't cost much, and they can be easily fitted at wall, ceiling, or anywhere throughout the farm. And whenever you on the mist fan cooler, it will cool down your inside room by around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius easily. So they are already, these are the things, pipes, this which comes with this system. Another system you can use is this system are often used in greenhouse chambers. These are high pressure fogging. Here the high pressure foggers are installed just like mist fan system throughout the farm and the edges. These are the nozzles which produce very tiny particles of water at very high speed. What happens is that when such particles gets exposed to the hot air, it readily evaporates and produce a cooling effect throughout the farm. So if you use these things, you can easily control your temperature by 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, which are quite good because we need only moderate temperature around 25 degree or at most 26-27 degree. So anyway, we don't need a chilling temperature for oyster mushrooms, so they are quite good and cost effective if we use this kind of mist systems. Then another technology is there which is called honeycomb pad system. Honeycomb pad system, what happens is that they are these panels, these are like honeycomb, hence they are called that, and these panels can be easily fitted all around the farm structure. You can see like this, and a water system is set up where what happens is that actually at a temperature at an area where the air outside is very warm and the dry air, then what we do, we need a temperature, ambient temperature inside our farm which is cold and full of moisture, because our mushrooms need moisture. So how do we maintain that? For that, if we install this system, what happens is that they absorb the hot and warm air inside from the outside, and when they get when they are absorbed by the water, when they get connected with the water which is flowing over this honeycomb, here you can see the water is getting pumped from in vessel, and it is flowing continuously through this honeycomb cooler, which is kind of a grass. So when the hot air gets connected with it, it instantly evaporates into cold air. So the high pressure fan which are also installed with this, what it does is it sucks in and it continuously blow cool and moisture air, which is what we need for mushroom cultivation. So this is a very simple technology but very effective. It can decrease the farm temperature by around 20 degrees Celsius. So for easily it can manage for 10 to 20 degrees Celsius inside your room. So whenever there are and also what happens is that for the mist system as well as this honeycomb system, you can attach them with controllers, microprocessors, which are very effective for automation. And whenever they detect the temperature which is going above, and they can easily on these motor pumps. Also you can make grid-like patterns, automate these, and also there are several apps in the mobile which gets connected with this kind of microcontroller, and you can remotely control the humidity and temperature inside your mushroom farm. So they are very effective in that. And generally whenever we think about cooling our stuff, the air condition comes into our mind. Why we are not referring air condition? The first thing is it is very costly. First of all, it is costly setup and it consumes a lot of power. Secondly, the air condition works on the principle of dehumidification. Whenever we run AC, it kind of absorbs the moisture in the air and dehumidifies it. But for the mushroom, we not only need cold temperature, we also need humid temperature, humidity. So the domestic AC, if we install, there is a way out. If you are having domestic air condition and you want to use that, first of all, we don't need a chilling temperature which is very low, like 15 degrees, something like that. We need a moderate temperature. For that, what we can do is, first of all, we have to build our farm in an insulated panel. And then what we can do it, we can install automatic controllers, the microprocessors, which looks like this, and once they are attached with the air conditioning system, they will detect your temperature automatically. Whenever it goes above certain benchmark, it will on, and whenever they come below, it will off. In that way, you will save on your energy part. It will be then cheaper option, and also you will need to install a humidifier. You can also use fogger or humidifier, or also you can make your own humidifier DIY. We will soon make those videos how to make that. So main factor is that you can install air condition, but you have to also make a setup where you will get humid air as well. So for the previous two things, for honeycomb and mist, those were not required. They will produce cold temperature as well as moist environment. So that's the drawback of the air conditioner, and that's it. Mushroom cultivation is quite easy, especially oyster mushroom cultivation, but there are a lot of more things to learn, like how to control and tackle the pest and disease, how to do food processing, about the marketing, if you need marketing support, how to do marketing, where to sell. If you want buy leads, you can directly contact us on bmmushroom.com. There are several training courses as well as which are available, and you can also join our free groups, cohorts, where we do provide continuous ebooks, materials, study materials, and buy leads. Also, you can join our upcoming webinar, which is free, in which we will talk all about the technologies of mushroom cultivation in details. So the link is in the description. Thank you. Have a nice day.